In this video, we are talking about factions in Call of Dragons. I'm going to give you a general rundown for each faction and then break down why you should play each one of them. So stick around. Let's get it. Welcome back to CO Gaming, and today we are talking about factions, and I'm going to give just the general rundown of each one of the factions and then kind of explain why you should play each one of them, or why you shouldn't play one or the other. So we're going to start off with the probably the most popular faction out of the group, and we're going to start off with the League of Order. League of Order is so highly considered probably the best overall faction because it's mages, and we all know mages do extreme amounts of damage, and they are very, very useful in this game. With that being said, we're just going to kind of go over their Legion faction bonus, which is your Legion magic defense and overall gathering speed, both of which are extremely good. Gathering speed is needed by everybody. Like, I mean, it's not a make or break type of buff, but it is good. And then of course, if you're looking at playing magic, then magic defense is always going to help you. Probably the biggest difference with League of Order compared to the other factions is it is so heavily designed for magic. You know, your special unit is your Celestials, which give you increases your magic attack, and then of course your Vestals are by far probably your best magic unit. There is no, probably it is. They are by far the best magic unit to have. So overall, this faction is extremely good on the magic side of things. But with that being said, it is very competitive in all other aspects of the game as well, because your swordsmen are extremely good for your infantry. There's nothing wrong with them. They compare to basically the same as both of the other factions. Um, Ballistas are the same way. They're a great marksman, so you can't go wrong there. And then, of course, your workhorses give you a higher load capacity when gathering. This is on the weaker side, if I'm being completely honest. And then, of course, your knights are good as well. So, with that being said, like this is probably still, in my opinion, in season 2, the top faction. It should be probably the faction that most of your mid to low spenders should play, because mage is super easy. As long as you can get that Lilia from your VIP, you'll be pretty set in stone and good to go. Kind of moving on to the next faction, we will talk about Spring Wardens. So a lot of the big talk with Spring Wardens right now is because of Ferondale in season 2. With the Flying Cav, which is, of course, your Forest Eagles. My only problem with Spring Warding is I do feel like it is the weakest of the three factions. I do feel like you hinder yourself in the overall aspect of things with using Spring Wardens for other marches. So we're gonna kind of start off with the Elk Riders. For as good of an ideal as Range Cav can be, it really is a bad ideal as well. I just feel like they don't pump out the numbers that the regular Cav would do from either one of the other factions, and just being ranged, I think it puts you in a bad position when you're running around. The flying Cav march is going to be amazing. Frondale is going to be really good there, and depending on what you're running with Frondale, I've heard a lot of people be running that Frondale Thea build, which is going to be extremely good, but I don't feel like Spring Wardens is the way. I think a lot of people jumped on that bandwagon to just get these flying marches and fly around like crazy, farm hitting, and I just don't think that's the way. I think you hinder yourself in the ball fight aspect of this game, to where when total chaos and war breaks out, you really hinder yourself in the overall aspect of things. And I would put Spring Wardens as the bottom faction in this game currently in season 2. I just don't think it's worth playing. It does have its ups, but I feel like it has a lot more downs in that aspect. And in my opinion, the only up is going to be your Forest Eagles. That's just the way it is, and that's only if you're running that flying cab march, or as a lot of people are doing right now, they're running like that Fragar Thea march, to where they're just running around with not putting ranged units at all, marksman units on Fragar. Whatever. It's not really that good of a march. You might move around pretty fast, but the moment you actually start fighting somebody at your actual power level, you're just going to get destroyed, and it's just not worth it. So don't waste your 10k gems switching to Spring Wardens just for one march, because you're really going to hinder yourself in the long run of playing other marches. Moving on to the next faction and the last faction, which is the Waterberg faction. This is a really close second, in my opinion, to League of Order. I think League of Order is by far the best competitive play faction when it comes to the overall outlook of the game and your entire player base. So, like, your free to play players should definitely be playing League of Order. Your low spenders should definitely be playing League of Order. And even your mid spenders should still probably be playing League of Order, because the thing you're going to use the most is going to be your mage marches. And that is what the League of Order is built around. So that's what you should play. For your higher end players and more of your whales, in my opinion, the Wilderberg faction is probably the best overall faction, with one major downfall, in my opinion, and the major downfall is going to be the Werven Riders. Yes, I like these units. I think they can be extremely good, and they are extremely good. But at the same time, they moved so freaking slow that it's really hard to use them. Um, if you just lose your focus for a split second, you just get caught, and there's no way getting away. And a flying march should have that easy escape route and be able to get away to where other marches can't. And these really do hinder you in that aspect. So if I had one complaint, this would be that complaint, and would be the thing that would push me personally towards League of Order at some point, if that was the case. But the overall troop itself is extremely good, and has a lot of usage in this game. Um, I love the work rhinos. Like, I know this isn't a farming game, but at the same time, you got to have resources to make troops, got to have resources to upgrade, and I think those extra resources that you get from the work rhinos outdoes the other factions for sure, and just overall, I think it is better. And then moving forward, where we talk about the Axemen, which is going to be the physical defense. They are just 100% comparable with both of the other factions. And then Spearmen are extremely good as well. And probably the best cav unit actually in the game, in my opinion. If you go and break down stat by stat in each one of the factions, this thing is actually better than both of the other factions entirely. It's marginal, but they are better in the aspect of things. And then, of course, your faction bonus is your Legion physical attack and destruction engineering. I do feel like your faction bonus is where you are lacking with Wilderberg, but at the same time, compared to Spring Wardens, you get the Legion March Speed, which is going to allow you to move faster, and probably the only thing that makes you really want to consider playing Spring Warden would be the Elixir production speed, but I just don't think 5% is enough. So, with that being said, I think everything in Wilderberg for a higher end player is amazing. Uh, but I think if you are mid to low spender, you should definitely play that League of Order. I think that just generally makes the most sense, because mages are so easy to get and they're so powerful in this game, that's what you should really focus on. I mean, it's just what it is. Like, it's pretty obvious to me, and I just see so many people jumping on the Spring Warden bandwagon, and people ask me like every day in our group, like, hey, would you play Spring Wardens? And I'm just like, no, it's not worth it. Flying cab's not the way. I think it's gonna be fun and it's gonna be good, but it's definitely not the way. What happens in season 3 if all of a sudden you get a brand new map and there's no planes to go fly over? What's your friend do, Frondale going to do at that point? So that's my problem with Spring Wardens right now is just not enough reason to play it. You hinder yourself and the other troops, and it's just not worth it. League of Order, Wildberg would be the two that I suggest. Wildberg is more, in my opinion, of a higher end scale if you're spending more in a game, but you can definitely play it as a low to mid spender as well. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like you have to spend money to play it. I just think if you are low to mid spend, you're probably running mainly mages, and League of Order is going to benefit you the most. But with that being said, we're going to wrap this video up. I hope this guide helps you. We're going to check out of here. Be sure to hit that like button, turn the bell on for more notifications. Consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, see you out.